Hi everyone, it's Mrs. Robinson. I found a book that I think you're going to enjoy. It's called Vlad and the Great Fire of London, written by Kate Cunningham and illustrated by Sam Cunningham. Let's see how many facts you can remember about the Great Fire of London as I read this story. Oi! Down there! Down a bit more! Can you see? There's a rat. Keep going. Hello and welcome. I'm Vlad, the flea, and this is my best friend, Boxton, the rat. In fact, Boxton is more than a friend. You could call him my friendly home from home. This is where I live. On the fur between Boxton's ears. Can you see him? There he is, the flea. Boxton is great. He knows where the tastiest rubbish is and where I can get a little snack of blood off a delicious human. We have to keep moving because for some reason some people don't like Boxton, and the ones I bite always seem to get the plague and die. The plague is a really nasty disease. Everything was wonderful 3 days ago. We found a nice warm bed on the floor in the baker's shop in Pudding Lane. Boxton had feasted on breadcrumbs and I'd bitten the baker's maid. We were full up, so we lay down to sleep. The night was warm and cosy, and it was almost hot for September. A light flickered gently in the corner, and smoke curled around the ceiling. Smoke! I leapt up, and I started hopping around on Boxton's bed. He was dozy and did not want to move, but I bit him hard. That woke him up. Look at his face. He looks a bit shocked. The flames were burning brightly in the huge wood pile that the baker used for his oven. The fire was blazing up the wall and was now moving across the floor towards us. We had to move quickly. I held on tightly to Boxton's hair as he squeezed through the gap in the door. Oh, this man doesn't look very happy. We were free, but the fire had spread to other houses. All around us, people were running and screaming. Some were carrying crying children or pulling up carts piled high with furniture. If we stayed here, we would get burnt. But if we moved around, we might get squashed by hooves or feet or wheels. We ran, well, Boxton ran. I shouted encouragement. He scampered along the cobbles, slipping through the mud and leaping over puddles of smelly water and around piles of horse poo. I clung to his sweaty back, terrified that I might slip off. Finally, we came to the ridge of the River Thames. There was a massive explosion. We looked around and looked back, and we could see soldiers blowing up people's homes. Buildings were collapsing now, and there was a big gap between the burning houses and the ones that could be saved. But still the fire burned, the wooden walls and thatched roofs. The wind blew, fanning the inferno, and the flames went from red to white. Smoke filled the air by making the sky dark, and the falling ash scorched our tongues and made us choke. Sparks were flying around, and some landed on Boxton's tail and singed his fur. He squeaked and jumped and ran once more past London Bridge. The bridge was full of people and soldiers, so he turned and headed towards the Tower of London. Boxter's nose was quivering. I could only smell burning wood, but I knew that my friend had sniffed something else. He staggered until we came to a garden. In the middle of a patch of soil knelt a scared, chubby man with a long coat and a wig. Can we think who that might be? He was digging a hole and talking to himself. "It will be there. It will be safe there, Samuel," he was muttering. Must be Samuel Pepys, burying his wine and his cheese in his back garden. He put his precious possessions into the hole, some bottles and a small, stinky parcel. Looking around, he checked that no one was watching before he covered it and hurried away.